What's up? How's it going? Jeez, wagwan, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, Fambily. To the new people, what's up? And click that subscribe button. Subscribe. Today, we're talking about mental health. I think it's good. It's always good to do like a mental health check-in.
Yeah.
You know, even though like it's March, I feel like we all want it to be December.
Yes. No, genuinely. There's a lot that's happened, and it's only the third month of this year. This year is very, I don't know what to say. But mental health, yeah, it can be shaky. There's a lot of people starting school now. All of our varsity viewers, y'all have just started. Things are gonna get hectic at some point. You're moving away from home. Your mentals are just all over. So let's get into that. First, we're gonna do with the definition. Start with the definition. Because a lot of people think when it's mental health, it's always a negative thing. No, guys. Mental health, according to Google, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices.
Healthy.
It's health, mental health, and how you deal with people, how you deal with situations comes from where your mental health is at. So if you are stressed how you going to deal with that stress? It's not going to be a fun time. Now we say the first thing that we think about when we think about mental health, or the things that come to our mind, are depression, anxiety. What else is there? There's a lot of mental illnesses.
Yeah, they're quite a few.
And not everybody knows. Obviously, these are things that you get diagnosed for. You get pills and then there's people who don't go get diagnosed, but you can see the signs of what it is. I'm part of a friend group that when we are going through it, if we are within sadness, we tend to exclude ourselves from things. So like group activity, and it's like, I'm going to bury myself away for 3 months and then I'll resurrect from the dead and act like nothing happened. I don't think that's very healthy. I do think you need time away from things, time away from friends, time away from family. You need that time by yourself. But to just come back like nothing happened. Okay, friend, I'm here for the good. And then when the bad happens, then you're like, peace out.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
I don't think it can be healthy. People don't talk about therapy and whatever. It's not conversations you have in the household. It's like, I'm going through my stuff, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Like even when a friend will pass away or something, you'll cry once here and then move on like nothing happened. And nobody sits with how we are feeling. And we had conversations, and he's like, I just don't understand when people are depressed, trigger warning, and they start, self-injuring. And it's like, for some people, it's a coping mechanism. It's what makes sense to them. Some people are not gonna understand it, and it's not something you can explain. Even while I was sitting down with this person, I'm just like, I can't explain why. Because it's like, if my girlfriend had to do that, I'd leave her. And I'm like, that's deep, brother, man. You can't just leave your honey because she's going through it and she's done that. Then he's like, no, but if I tell her to stop, why is she not stopping? And it's like, it's a difficult conversation in a relationship also, because some people don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. I mean, don't do it. It's not healthy. It's not a good way of dealing with anything. It just kind of takes, I think it moves the pain from here to physically, but it doesn't take away from what you're going through. If anything, it just makes it worse, because you always have scars to remember. Okay, I was going through that. Now these scars are there. Not for life, but for a longer period of time. You should talk to your partner about the things you're going through, and if you are a person that self-harms and how do you have a conversation with your partner about that?
I think that's a good question. But here's the chat. I think apart from like being in like a romantic relationship, you're in relationships with other people. So you are a brother to someone, you're a sister to someone, you are a son or daughter to someone. Those are relationships, like individual relationships within themselves. So personally, in a romantic relationship, it becomes more difficult because that space of like the relationship is meant for the two of you. So think about it like a common area, like the common area of the house like is your relationship. So when your partner is going through something like, you know, like a mental illness, or like they're just like depressed, they're not, well, saying they're not in a good space is minimizing mental illness. I think it's minimizing the seriousness of someone that's just not in a great space mentally, because I think that takes time.
Yes. I mean, you need to give yourself time. You're not gonna just, okay, I'm happy now, things are great now. It gets worse before it gets, I think it always gets worse before it gets better. It gets worse, but you need to allow yourself. And when you throw yourself in things to keep you busy, like some people throw themselves in work, get distracted, or in parties, and you're not allowing yourself to feel and be your down bad, so that you can be like, okay, when you reach that down bad, I think that's when you have the point of realization, how can I help myself out of this? How can I ask somebody for help? We all are anxious about different things in different ways to different extents. And dealing with that, how to deal with that. Obviously, we are not psychologists, we are not therapists, we cannot give professional advice. But again, I was having a conversation with someone, and like he says, okay, I have anxiety, and I'm like, okay, so how do you deal with these things? Because we're just having an overall mental health chat. And he's like, you know, in group settings, because people make him nervous, he can never approach a person, it just makes him anxious. So he'd be like, if I don't feel okay or fine in a circle of people, I'm just gonna like remove myself, walk away, go listen to some music, whatever. And I think a lot of us, sometimes when there's mad people around, we force ourselves to be there to get over it, whatever. But I think we do need to step aside sometimes. I mean, sometimes push yourself, not too much, but push yourself in that space, environment. But if you need to get out, get out. Just check yourself. Where are you okay, where are you not okay? Understanding yourself. And I think that ties in with, if somebody else needs to help you, if you can't help yourself, you can't expect somebody else to understand how to help you if you yourself don't understand how to help yourself. If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense, because then it means that the other person doesn't know what they need.
Exactly.
So if you don't know what they need, you can't offer.
If you don't know where the root of the problem is, if you don't understand what is happening inside of you, how can someone, this is not magic, bada boom, bada boom, you know? And if you need to see someone professionally, guys, there's everybody, when they hear therapy or psychologist, just what, you hear this and it's such a taboo thing. It doesn't mean, you know, there's something wrong with you, so to say. It's just you need professional help. And for some people, they're like, no, but with a therapist, you know, you just tell them parts of what you want to tell them, and then they help you with that, so it's not actually the truth of what's happening with you, whatever. But sometimes you do need help, go.
But I feel like you would have done that to yourself though.
What do you mean?
Like, if you go to a therapy session and exclude important parts and they help you based on what they know, you did that to yourself.
Self-play.
Like,
self-play.
You'll receive, if you paid 1,000 rand, you're receiving 500 rand. Advice, because when you went there and you lied. And I think the same thing happens like with partners when they start to feel insecure in the relationship, in terms of feeling like they're the burden in the relationship. They're gonna start lying or covering up some times when they go through things, and they're like, I feel like I've been too much on this person. So you are thinking for
somebody else, and that's not fair.
It's not.
That's not fair. Stop feeling like you are burdening someone unless you're actually a burden. I'm joking. That's so ugly. But people need people, whether you like it or not, whether you're a people's person or not. That is why there are so many billions of us in this world. We need each other. Obviously, don't use somebody as a crutch.
Don't do that.
Bring them down, and that's not fair. But you do need people, so don't lie. Don't act like, you know, whatever. I'm going to, but just leave it. It's okay, whatever. Deal with it.